Coach, again, lots of good performances, good moments from your team. I want to start out on that note. Your team came back into it on a 20-4 run in the later minutes of the second half. What was key in that run? What started it and what continued it?
Yeah, I thought our connection in that run was as good as it had been all night. And I thought we called a timeout and literally spent the entire timeout talking about being connected because we weren't. That we were trying to do everything one on one on the offensive end, and it puts us in a bad situation. On the defensive end, our talk, our communication, it wasn't where it needed to be. So we called the timeout and we talked about just over the next. We wanted to take the next 4 minutes and try to be as connected as we could, and it gave us good momentum. And I thought we played the last, 10 or 12 minutes the way we want to play the type of basketball at Kennesaw State.
Coach, the play of Alex Peterson, 24 points the last two nights, but also the things that don't necessarily show up in the stat book. He contested a lot of shots, really altered a lot of shots, and really made Jacksonville work. Can you talk about him and his game?
Yeah, I'm about to call him Boogie. Boogie is what we call him. Boogie is a kid that's really dependable. But at the same time, he's still trying to find himself as a basketball player. We're asking him to play a role right now that he hasn't ever been asked to do. We're asking him to be, one of our three main focal points. And right now, he's still trying to figure out how he does that. Today, I thought he played a lot more. I like to use the word with him. I thought he played a lot more reckless, just carefree. And when he plays that way, it takes a lot of the thinking out, and he just naturally does things. So for him to end up with 15 points and, like you said, he has 7 rebounds, and then what he was able to do, especially in the second half on the defensive end, we need more of that out of him. And I think when he plays with kind of that reckless abandon, that's what he brings to the table.
Do you think this team in this season has the potential where maybe at the end of next month we look back at these last 4 games and say this was a moment where Kennesaw State struggled over the last couple of minutes to close out a game? That's not the case at the end of February.
For sure, but I think and I don't want anybody to take this like. It's just on the guys. It's not, if anything, it's on me. Again, I got to do a better job, with a lead the last 4 minutes of the game, and calling good stuff. But I just look at our team, and we could look back at the end of February and say, man, you know what, we really, really grew from that first weekend. Or if we don't block out the self-doubt, the outside chatter, caring about what other people say or caring about what other people do, then, it's one of those things that I think can linger, and kind of show itself time and again. But I really think that, one's belief in themselves is really important. Kid Kevion Nolan from Jacksonville, he's a really good player, right? But I guarantee you if he was on the court with Kobe and Michael Jordan, he still feel like he was the best player on the court. That's just what I get from him. Maybe I'm wrong, but we've got to start to develop that sense of self-confidence, in order to close out those games. Because again, we have great kids, man, like great kids. They do literally anything we ask them to do, but we need to grow an edge to us, that gives us a toughness to finish out, tough games and close games.
What have you learned about this new ASUN scheduling, the back-to-back games, and how this weekend format is going to move forward? What do you guys now take away as coaches and how you want to change, whether it's practice or what you do in between the contest?
Yeah, I think it's really important that first game is unbelievably important, not only at home but on the road as well. And what I mean by that is you've got to play your best basketball that night. You want to be able to go 2-0 at home. If you can steal one on the road and split, I think most teams in our league would take that. But I think it's really important to try to get that first game, and then practice before, making sure that they're fresh. I'd tell you the other thing we need from our group is we need some some more depth on our bench, because last night we played Terrell Burton, Chris Youngblood, Spencer Rogers, and Alex Peterson all 30-plus minutes. And I think when you looked at Stroud and Burton tonight, they showed that fatigue. So we need Jamie Lewis to step up. We need Kason Jennings to step up. We need a couple of our other bigs to step up in order so on that first night we can kind of spread those minutes out. So on that second night we're a little bit fresher. But again, I love our group. And I'll just share, last thing I'll share with you and I'll be quiet, is we just talked to our guys about, the difference, and I've been fortunate to be a part of some really good programs and work for some really good coaches. And the difference between really good programs and just good programs is, the work that they put in to prepare to play, it really means something to them. So there's not going to be a time that, they come out on the court or when they're between the lines that they're not protecting that work that they put in, cherishing that time or letting it go to waste. And as a young team, we're still trying to find out how to protect that work, the preparation that we put in. You watch the games, it comes and goes, man. We're really good at times, and then at times we're really bad on both ends. And so we gotta figure out a way to do better in that in those spots in the game.
Coach, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck next week.
Thank you, guys.